जय रघुवंश,
जय रघुवंश,
जय महापरिषद,
जय महापरिषद,
जलाराम बापानी
जय हो, जय हो, जय हो।
જય જલારામ બાપા, જય શ્રી લોહાણા મહાપરિષદ. આ બધા આશીર્વાદથી આજે આપણે મીટિંગ સ્ટાર્ટ કરીએ. સતીશભાઈ તમારા પરમિશનથી અને ઉજ્જવલ પ્રેસિડેન્ટ તમારા પરમિશન. આઈ હોપ અવિનાશ યુ આર ઓલ્સો રેડી?
Yes.
ફ્રેન્ડ્સ, પર્પઝ ઓફ ધ મીટિંગ અમે દર વખતે એ જ કહીએ કે આપણે વી હેવ ટુ બેનિફિટ અવર મેમ્બર્સ. આપણા જે પણ મેમ્બર્સ છે, લોહાણા LMP લોહાણા મહાપરિષદના મેમ્બર્સ છે. ઓલમોસ્ટ 1000 મેમ્બર્સ લોહાણા મહાપરિષદના છે અને 1000 થી 1200 મેમ્બર ઓલમોસ્ટ MCTC ના છે. બધાના બેઉના અલગ અલગ ગ્રુપ છે. તો ઓલ આર બેનિફિટેડ. અમારા બધા બેઉ ગ્રુપ પર, MCTC ના ગ્રુપ પર ને LMP ના ગ્રુપ પર અવિનાશ એમ જ થાય કે લોકો ક્વેશ્ચન પૂછે છે. ઓલમોસ્ટ 10, 15, 20 લોકો ક્વેશ્ચન ઓલ ઇન્ડિયાથી આવે છે LMP માં અને મલાડ ચેમ્બરમાં પણ. અને લોકો ક્વેશ્ચન પૂછે ને સિનિયર લોકો વિધિન 10 મિનિટ્સ એનું આન્સર આપે છે વિથ ઓલ સાઇટેશન, સુપ્રીમ કોર્ટ, હાઈકોર્ટ ને ટ્રાઇબ્યુનલ જજમેન્ટ. આ આપણા LMP ગ્રુપનો પર્પઝ. હું જયારે સતીશભાઈ પ્રેસિડેન્ટ થયા, સતીશભાઈ ઇઝ વિઝનરી પ્રેસિડેન્ટ. આઈ યુઝ ટુ ટેલ સતીશભાઈ આવું આપણે કંઈક કરીએ અને આપણા લોકોને, આપણા LMP ના CA ટેક્સ પ્રોફેશનલ લોકોને બેનિફિટ થવું જોઈએ. જેમ અલગ અલગ બીજા બધા ગ્રુપમાં કહ્યું છું, જેમ સિનિયર્સ આર ઓલવેઝ હેલ્પિંગ ધી જુનિયર્સ. એ આપણું જે બધી જગ્યાએ સારું છે. દેટ LMP ઇઝ ઓલ્સો બેનિફિટેડ ઓલ ધ મેમ્બર્સ ફોર્ચ્યુનેટલી. તો આ પર્પઝ ઓફ ધીસ ટુડેઝ મીટિંગ દેટ ઓનલી કે આપણી પાસે ઇન હાઉસ આપણા પોતાના લોકો LMP અને MCTC ના લોકો જે અવિનાશ રવાણી ઇઝ એક્સપર્ટ ઇન ઓલ. આપણા જે ગ્લિચીસ અત્યારે આવે છે ફાઇલિંગ માટે, તો એ ગ્લિચીસના ઇસ્યુ ફાઇલિંગમાં, રિટર્ન ઇન્કમ ટેક્સ ફાઇલિંગના જે પ્રોબ્લેમ્સ ગ્લિચીસ જે આવે છે એને જે ક્વેશ્ચન્સ પૂછે છે અવિનાશ ઇઝ ઓલ્સો. અમારા ઓફિસમાં બી જયારે પ્રોબ્લેમ આવે છે તો એક ફોન કરે, અવિનાશ ઇઝ આન્સરિંગ વિધિન ફ્રેક્શન ઓફ સેકન્ડ કે ભાઈ જયશ્રીબેન આમ કરી નાખો, રીમા આમ કરી નાખો, ખ્યાતિ આમ કરી નાખો. સો વી હેવ એક્સપર્ટ ટુડે ફોર ધ પર્ટિક્યુલર ગ્લિચીસ જે ફાઇલિંગ આપણા રિટર્ન્સનું છે એ અવિનાશભાઈ આપણી જોડે છે. આઈ રિક્વેસ્ટ સતીશભાઈ, જે અમારા ડાયનામિક અને વિઝનરી પ્રેસિડેન્ટ છે LMP ના, વી આર વેરી ફોર્ચ્યુનેટ કે આપણા એટલા મસ્ત પ્રેસિડેન્ટ છે જેની પાસે વિઝન છે. સો આઈ રિક્વેસ્ટ સતીશભાઈ કે LMP માટે તમે અને આ એક્ટિવિટી માટે તમે પ્લીઝ બોલશો અને અમને બધાને આશીર્વચન આપશો પ્લીઝ.
અનફોર્ચ્યુનેટલી જે છે ને બધાને જય જલારામ, જય રઘુવંશ, જય મહાપરિષદ. ભરતભાઈ, you always have been kind, with your words, but you are really man of action and I really appreciate what you are doing in this particular group. Let me come back to basic thing. So first of all, Avinash bhai, thank you very much. Ujjwal bhai, thank you very much for taking out time. These તમે હમણાં જે લોહાણા મહાપરિષદની આપણે જ્યારે બેકએન્ડ ની અંદર હતા ત્યારે આપણે વાત કરતા હતા એની અંદર that we as a community are really an excellent community in our own capacity, individual capacity, are very, very capable people. You know that we are best of people, in terms of business, in terms of profession and so on. Then all these platforms gives us an opportunity to get together and work together. ભરતભાઈ, આપણે જ્યારે આ લોહાણા મહાપરિષદની અંદર જ્યારે આપણે લગભગ 27 કે 28 કમિટીની જ્યારે આપણે સ્થાપના થઈ, જેવી રીતે આપણે મેનેજરને આપણે જ્યારે જોબ અપોઇન્ટ કરતા હોય ત્યારે જોબ રોલ આપણે આપતા હોય, what are we expecting from each committee. Likewise, our job role as far as this CA committee, we thought that what is it actually, what આપણા મગજની અંદર બેઝિક વસ્તુ શું હતી. તો એની અંદર to have CA across India and abroad under one roof. Because I tell you one thing, Bharatbhai, આપણી અત્યારના લોહાણા એપ આવી રહી છે. You'll have all information on app. એટલે એમાં આપણું સેન્સર્સ as well as categorize businesses and professions આવી જશે એની અંદર. It would be launched soon એની અંદર. But the basic purpose, of this particular group is to, bring all CA across India and abroad together. Basic idea is that, that આપણા ઘણા ફોરેન ની અંદર વસતા લોકો જે હોય એ લોકોને અહીંયા આગળ જે છે ને ઇશ્યુઝ આવતા. હમણાં 2 દિવસ પહેલા તમને સુભાષભાઈ ઠક્કર હેડ સમ ઇશ્યુ એન્ડ આસ્ક યુ એની અંદર કે લંડન એ પોતે ચાર્ટર્ડ એકાઉન્ટન્ટ છે, લંડન ચેમ્બર ઓફ કોમર્સ ની અંદર જે છે ને he was a past president. સો કહેવાનો મારો મતલબ કે the whole purpose is કે કોઈનું ટેક્સ એંગલ હોય, કોઈના વ્હીલ હોય, કોઈના બીજા કોઈ ઇશ્યુઝ જે હોય એની અંદર ટેક્સ રિલેટેડ ઇશ્યુઝ, they can fall back on you and it could be settled. to establish good rapport with the local cooperative banks and other banks. આપણે એવી ઈચ્છા કરી કે બિઝનેસ ની અંદર જે આપણે જે નાના દુકાનદારોથી લઈને મોટા લોકોને આપણા બેંકની અંદર બી જે જેટલી બી સહકારી બેંક અક્રોસ ઇન્ડિયા છે એના હેડ છે આપણા ડોલર બાય કોટેચા લગભગ અપ્રોક્સિમેટલી હ્યુજ નેટવર્ક ધરાવતી બેંક જે છે એની અંદર કોઓપરેટિવ બેંક્સ એના હેડ કોણ તો કે ડોલર બાય એની અંદર આઈ એમ શ્યોર એની અંદર ભરતભાઈ that you know we are not connected with them. પણ આનું ઓડિટ સમજો નવા છોકરાઓ આવ્યા હોય તેને ઓડિટમાં કેવી રીતે લાગવા સેન્ટ્રલ બેંકના આપણા ડિરેક્ટર કોણ તો we have ખેમાણી સાહેબ પ્રદીપભાઈ એને તમારે કદાચ ભરતભાઈ ન જરૂર હોય પણ આપણા અત્યારના જે છોકરાઓ જે છે એને આની સાથે કનેક્ટ કરીને how do we bring them this thing નાના લોકોને લોન કેમ અપાવવી સમજો કોઈ નાના સેન્ટરની અંદર આપણે ટેક્સ પ્રેક્ટિશનર્સ હોઈ શકે in case if they have a good rapport with this bank. So all these aspects also we can look into it, and the whole idea of formation is one of these also. The small loans to the needy traders and others to get loans for the startups. So startup એક એવો beautiful area આવ્યો છે એની અંદર ભરતભાઈ આપણે આ પતી જાય પછી we really have to give some idea about the startup also, and then how your fraternity this chartered accountant fraternity can be party to this career. How do we scrutinize, how do we give them platform, how do we give them the seed capital to grow career. આ એક એરિયા છે આપણો to arrange seminars which you are doing excellent, and the internship to the students who are pursuing CA. તમે જુઓ છો એની અંદર અવિનાશભાઈ I am sure that you must be aware આપણી વડાલા બોર્ડિંગ જે છે એ આપણે એને ચાર્ટર્ડ એકાઉન્ટન્ટની ફેક્ટરી કહીએ છીએ સાહેબ અક્રોસ ગ્લોબ મારા હિસાબ અત્યાર સુધી ઓછામાં 500-700 ચાર્ટર્ડ એકાઉન્ટન્ટ અક્રોસ ધ ગ્લોબ આપણા લુહાણા હશે એની અંદર અવિનાશભાઈ અને તમે અત્યારના 300-350 મે બી પ્રેક્ટિસિંગ ચાર્ટર્ડ એકાઉન્ટન્ટ ઇન UAE આઈ એમ શ્યોર એની અંદર દેન ઓસ્ટ્રેલિયા ન્યુઝીલેન્ડ તમે જ્યાં જાઓ ત્યાં તમને વડાલા બોર્ડિંગ અને તમને આપણા લુહાણા ચાર્ટર્ડ એકાઉન્ટન્ટ તમને મળશે એની અંદર આઈ એમ શ્યોર ધેટ this is a great area of work which our people have done. બહુ જ અમે લોકો તો આપણે મહાપરિષદમાં બેઠા હોઈએ એટલે અમે માંગવાની આદત કેળવવી પડે અવિનાશભાઈ અમે તેવું બધાની અંદર એટલે અમને મેઇન ઈચ્છા થાય કે તમારી પાસે હા જેડી અમને બીજી ઈચ્છા એ થતી અવિનાશભાઈ કે તમારી પાસે જે છે ને યુ આર એક્સ્ટ્રીમલી વેલ કનેક્ટેડ યુ હેવ ગુડ રેપો વિથ ધ બિગ અકાઉન્ટ્સ એની અંદર કોર્પોરેટ તમે જોતા હો તો વી આર ઇન્ટરેસ્ટેડ કે સર છે કેવી રીતે CSR ફંડ જે છે એ તમે કેવી રીતે એની અંદર જે છે સપોઝ આપણી એક્ટિવિટી જો આપણા ઓલ એકાઉન્ટ્સ આર ઓન ઓડિટ ઓલ ઓડિટેડ એકાઉન્ટ્સ આર ઓન ધ વેબસાઇટ તમને ખબર હશે અવિનાશભાઈ બોથ ટ્રેઝરર્સ આર ચાર્ટર્ડ એકાઉન્ટન્ટ્સ અમારા યોગેશભાઈ Thakrar who is also associated with JD Bond, and another gentleman is Vasani Co. Was he is IS the exam pass kera pachi competitive exam pass kera pachi he preferred to continue with his practice as a chartered accountant. એટલે મહાપરિષદના એકાઉન્ટ 31 માર્ચના અકાઉન્ટ જે છે એ લોકોએ 1 તારીખે 11 વાગે ઓલરેડી ડિક્લેર કરી નાખ્યા હતા. This is how efficiently the Mahaparishad is working. So you can Mahaparishad is working absolutely professionally. અને તમે કદાચ કોઈ સારી કંપનીને તમે કહો કે નહીં અહીંયા આગળ you can give your fund for education, medical or other good purposes as a CSR fund તમે આપશો તો I promise you that we are professionally working, and we stand by each and every penny we receive as a CSR fund. Why we are talking about CSR fund here? Because you have many accounts, you are connected with people. So this is one thing, also, which we can think of about it. And mainly, as we said, that you can help small firms in this. આ બધા કરતા હું ક્લોઝલી જોઉં છું. I'm taking little more minutes, કારણ કે અમને લોકોને ભાષણ આપવાનું મળે ને એની અંદર ખોટું થઈ જાય. પણ I would like to tell you that આપણી આ સંસ્થા 71 વર્ષ જૂની સંસ્થા છે. 52 ની અંદર આપણે એસ્ટાબ્લિશ થયેલી છે. ખૂબ સરખી રીતે મારા આગલા પ્રેસિડેન્ટોએ સરસ રીતે ચલાવેલી છે. આપણે હમણાં જ યુગાન્ડા ખાતે આપણે એક લોહાણા ઇન્ટરનેશનલ બિઝનેસ ફોરમ જે છે ત્યાં આગળની ઇફેક્ટિવ મીટિંગ આપણે કરી. ત્યાં આગળ 22 કન્ટ્રી અને 139 સિટીઝની અંદરથી participated. He correctly said 968 people to be very precise. So which is a great thing. Ugandan president, fortunately, was present, there, about 3 hours. And investment minister, finance minister, all, participated. And about 40 MOUs were signed, and most of them are being materialized now. And other than 40 people, internally, the youth, like 300-350, they have started interacting with each other. They are finding, interest in each other. This is the biggest achievement, I could think of, in this particular area of work. આ બધી જ વસ્તુ જોતા અને મને તમારા અચીવમેન્ટની અંદર ભરતભાઈ તમારા ઇનિશિયેટિવની અંદર એ લાગી રહ્યો છે કે અત્યારે જેટલા બી ચાર્ટર્ડ એકાઉન્ટન્ટો જે થઈ રહ્યા છે એની અંદર, તમે તો બધા એક્સપર્ટ છો જ એની અંદર, યુ આર ધેર. આપણે વડીલો છે અહીંયા આગળ, આપણે અવિનાશભાઈ છે, ઉજ્જવલભાઈ છે, તમે ઘણા બધા અહીંયા આગળ છે. દિનેશભાઈ કાનાબારી ઇઝ અ નોન પર્સન એની અંદર, હી ઇઝ ધેર ઓન ધ ગ્રુપ. ધેર આર સો મેની ફ્રોમ અબ્રોડ. આ બધાનો લાભ આપણા છોકરાઓને મળી રહ્યો છે એની અંદર, જેનો હુ આર સ્ટાર્ટિંગ પ્રેક્ટિસ. સાહેબ તમે સમજો છો સાહેબ, તમારે જે બધી વ્યક્તિઓ પાસે એને ઇન્ડિવિજ્યુઅલી તો જવું પડે એની અંદર, અને એને તમારી પાસેથી સલાહ માટે આવવું પડે એની અંદર, ઇટ મસ્ટ બી કોસ્ટિંગ ધેમ અ લોટ એની અંદર. આ તમે એક ગ્રુપ પર રહી અને જે લોકોને ડિરેક્શન આપી રહ્યા છો, મોર એન્ડ મોર તમે જોતા હશો સામેથી આવીને તમારી સાથે જોડાય છે, મોર એન્ડ મોર ચાર્ટર્ડ એકાઉન્ટન્ટ્સ આર ગેટિંગ ઇનટુ ધીસ પર્ટિક્યુલર ગ્રુપ. આ બહુ મોટું અચીવમેન્ટ કહેવાય. અને ખાસ કરીને હું તમને અવિનાશભાઈ, તમને ઉજ્જવલભાઈને આજે મારે ખાસ તમને અભિનંદન આપવા પડે કે તમે આ પર્ટિક્યુલર એરિયા ઓફ વર્ક એની અંદર કે લોકોને જે છે આ પોર્ટલના જે ઇશ્યુઝ જે છે, કારણ કે જે છે ને આપણને એમ હતું કે દિવસે દિવસે ઘટતા જશે, પણ એના ઇશ્યુઝ જે છે ને જુદા જુદા સ્વરૂપમાં આવતા રહે છે એની અંદર. અને એક્સપર્ટ લાઈક યુ અવિનાશભાઈ, ધીસ ઇઝ આઈ થિંક મને ભરતભાઈ કીધું, હી ફોલ્સ બેક ઓન યુ, યોર હિઝ ઓફિસ કનેક્ટ્સ યુ વિથ યુ, કે ભાઈ અવિનાશભાઈ અમને આ તકલીફ છે એની અંદર. સી ધીસ ઇઝ ધ યુનિટી. આ જે તમે એક ગ્રુપ બનાવી અને જે આ છોકરાઓને ડિરેક્શન આપો છો, એકબીજા સાથે કરો છો એની અંદર, અવિનાશભાઈ વી હેવ અ બ્રાઇટ ફ્યુચર. ધ ફ્યુચર ઓલરેડી આપણા હાથમાં છે. અને તમે મને પૂછતા હતા કે આપણે આમ નથી કરતા, નહીં, આપણે ઓલરેડી કરવા માંડ્યા છે એની અંદર. આપણે આને ચાલુ રાખીએ એની અંદર. આવા નાના નાના ઇનિશિયેટિવ ખૂબ જ સરખી રીતે આપણને ઉપયોગમાં આવે છે, સમાજ ઉપયોગી છે એની અંદર. આઈ ટેકન ટુ મચ ઓફ યોર ટાઈમ, બટ ધીસ વોઝ ધ પ્લેટફોર્મ. આઈ થોટ that let me share my thought with you. Thank you very much, for inviting me, Bharatbhai, on this particular thing. I was very worried. I was just thinking કે ભાઈ જે છે ને મને તમારા આટલા પ્રોફેશનલ હાઈ પ્રોફાઇલ ઓલા પર બોલાવીને શું કરવું એની અંદર સાહેબ, એની અંદર જે છે. પણ એનીવે મને ખૂબ આનંદ મળ્યો તમને બધાને મળીને એની અંદર. આઈ એમ વેરી ગ્રેટફુલ. થેન્ક યુ વેરી મચ વન્સ અગેન, એન્ડ I wish you all the best, Avinash. We keep in touch. Thank you very much, Bharatbhai. Thank you very much, Ujjwalbhai, and all. Thank you so much. જય જલારામ.
જય જલારામ સતીશભાઈ, બહુ સરસ. યાર રિયલી તમે ખરેખર વિઝનરી પ્રેસિડેન્ટ છો. તમારા વિઝનથી અમે આગળ વધીએ છીએ. અને હું તમને પ્રોમિસ આપું છું સતીશભાઈ કે આવી જે મીટિંગ છે આપણા લોકોના મેમ્બર લોકોના બેનિફિટ માટે હર મંથ અમે વિલ ટ્રાય કે એક મંથમાં એક મીટિંગ આપણે રાખશું. અને આપણા પાસે યંગ છોકરાઓ બી જોડાઈ રહ્યા છે. ખ્યાતિ હવે સીએ રહીને ખ્યાતિ છે, આપણો જયદીપ સોનપાલ છે જેની આઈડિયા હતી, રિયલી જયદીપે સ્ટાર્ટેડ, આપણો ઉજ્જવલ છે. there are so many young children from our community, LMP and અમારા ઇવન મલાડ ચેમ્બરમાં બી યંગ કમ્યુનિટી, યંગ પીપલ આર કમિંગ ફોરવર્ડ અને એ સાથે અમારી જોડે જોડાઈને અમને હેલ્પ કરી રહ્યા છે અને પેનલ પર આવી રહ્યા છે. વી આર વેરી મચ ફોર્ચ્યુનેટ.
અડધી મિનિટ તમારી લઈશ, ખાલી એક જ અડધી મિનિટ લો. એક નંબર વન, આઈ વુડ લાઈક ટુ ટેલ યુ ધેટ વી આર ગોઈંગ ટુ હેવ એક્ઝિબિશન ઇન જાન્યુઆરી. થોડી ડેટમાં ઈગલ આગળ થયા કરે છે એની અંદર. સો વી આર હેવિંગ 100% in exhibition. We are anticipating, અમે લોકો જે roughly about એવું કરતા હતા એની અંદર કે the sellable area should be more than 2 lakh square feet, which is a huge exhibition. Then, and બધા Lohana across the globe are going to be participating as a exhibitor or as a buyer, actually, so visitor. So this is one thing, which I want to tell you. And how your fraternity is because of you, how Mahaparishad is making a progress, because because આ બધા જે આનું જે કેવી રીતે ફંડ રેઝ થાય, how do we bring in, આપણે જે આપણા ફોરેનના જે ભાઈઓ છે એને આપણા સંસ્થાની અંદર કેવી રીતે આપણે ઇન્કોર્પોરેટ કરવા, એને માટે આપણે તમે લોકોનું જે પાર્ટિસિપેશન છે, ટુ ફોર્મ this thing section 8 company, સાહેબ, this we could think of, we could finalize this, and it is in the making. So અમે તમારી પાસે આખું જ્યારે પ્રપોઝલ રેડી થઈ જશે ત્યારે we put it before the group. We will be very proud that we are working totally making use of your expertise. I just wanted to share this to you that LIBF is being made a section 8 company. This two news I wanted to share. Idea is to involve all foreign dignitaries also, and then આપણું પોતાનું આજે કારણ કે this is going to be a business activity. આનો જે ફંડ સરપ્લસ જે આવે એ ઓફકોર્સ બિઝનેસ માટે તો યુઝ થાય, પણ આપણા સારા કામો જેવી રીતે એજ્યુકેશન છે અને ફંડિંગ માટે બી યુઝ કરી શકીએ. This is the whole idea. Thank you so much once again. Sorry to have interrupted.
Thank you, Satishbhai. Really proud of you. Really, you are representing 35 lakhs Lohana all over the world. Really proud of you. Thank you very much for coming to this platform. Now I'll request Ujjwal Thakrar, જે અમારો એક young president of Malad Chamber, જેમના father બી જે નટુભાઈ ઠકરાર is also practicing chartered accountant. And he has maintained, Ujjwal has maintained the legacy of Natubhai, and now he is president of Malad Chamber, proud president of Malad Chamber. બહુ સારી એક્ટિવિટી કરી રહ્યો છે. I'll request Ujjwal to about the Malad Chamber activity.
Yes. Thank you, Bharat bhai. Thank you, Satish bhai, for your visionary and kind words. With this, I think today we have a lot of CAs, I think, from all over India. Malad Chamber is serving to western suburbs of Mumbai, but still we have few members from Delhi and other states, Gujarat. But today, this gathering we have, I think, members from all over India, which is a very good initiative. Malad Chamber was established in 1978 with the main objective of spreading knowledge. It regularly conducts workshops, seminars on direct, indirect tax, many times on FEMA and international tax also. Our flagship event is the budget event, and this year it was the 25th Silver Jubilee budget publication which we had this year. We had the speaker with us, Mr. Dinesh Kanabar. Everyone enjoyed his speech. We have more than 500 people attending and taking benefit of this budget event. I would just like to state that everyone can become a member of Malad Chamber. We regularly conduct online meetings and seminars also. So it is not necessary to be present physically. Members will get benefit of all the subjects online as well. With these few words, I think all are eager to wait Mr. AVINASH Rawani. He has helped us every year. He has been regular speaker at Malad Chamber also and taking this topic regularly. We'll hand over back to Bharat bhai. Yes.
Thank you, Ujjwal, our dynamic president of our Malad Chamber. And now time has come to listen the Sachin Tendulkar of today's meeting, AVINASH Rawani. He does not need much introduction, but I'll request CA Kathy Vasani to formally introduce CA AVINASH Rawani.
Good evening, everyone. CA AVINASH Rawani is a DSA qualified chartered accountant in practice since 1993. He has been practicing in the field of direct taxes, audits, and company law matters. He has delivered over 600 lectures on the topics of income tax and company law at various associations like WIRC, SIRC, ICAI, Bombay Chartered Accountant Society, Chamber of Tax Consultants, Malad Chamber of Tax Consultant, among a few. He has been a visiting faculty for corporate houses as well as IIM. He's a core member of ICAI in handling and e-filing help desk on issues in uploading and filing various e-tax audit report and IT returns. He has been actively involved with various committees of the ICAI since 2018. He's currently the member of the Company Law Governance Committee and Indirect Tax Committee of the WIRC. Sir, thank you so much for accepting our invitation. We are all I'm sure we are going to take back so many solutions with us at the end of the lecture. Also, I'd like to request everyone to please leave the questions in the chat box and we'll take it at the end of the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Over to Shree AVINASH. आप start कर रहे, you are starting it, and now we are crossing 100 members. We are over attending your lecture. AVINASH, keep it up.
Sir, you're on mute. AVINASH, sir, you're on mute.
Yes.
It's okay now?
Yes.
First of all, thank you everybody, both the professional group for giving me this opportunity, and Kathy for kind introduction, Bharat bhai, Satish bhai, and Ujjwal, and all the senior professionals who are attending. I will try my level best to give proper justice to the subject today, and I'll try my level best to resolve all the queries, and if not possible, let me give me some of the issues that I can represent it to the department or the ministry, because I need some issues every time so that I can learn from this. I want the things that this website should be running properly. Coming to the subject per se, 1 minute. Is the screen sharing proper?
Yeah. No.
Not yet. Okay. Is it
Yes,
proper?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. To big topic per se is about income tax returns. Everybody is filing income tax returns, so nobody should have any issues in income tax returns filing, except the website on which you are filing the returns. Earlier we used to had the habit of filing returns manually. Bharat bhai would be aware, because the people used to go in the long queues on the last days to file the returns, and today 13th of June is there, and the deadlines is 31st of July, first deadline. So almost around 48 days are there. So first deadline is appearing. Now don't ask me whether the returns extension is going to come, because one such question was asked today, whether any extension is expected or not. Coming to the first, we'll discuss about the statistical figures, what has been the growth in the income tax returns and all that. The first is direct tax collections in the financial year 2020-23 has grown almost by 17%, that is 16.97%. And if you will be aware that of this direct tax collections, 40% of this tax collections comes by way of TDS to the income tax department. And we had last week a good meeting with the TDS department, wherein all the TDS officers had come from the CPC and also from the income tax department, where we have given a list of issues by which all the people are facing it. And none of the issues were got resolved from them. But they have tried their level best to resolve. And now see, there is a TDS CPC, almost all the issues have been, the website is working so smoothly. And that website is also under the new website is going to come in a few days. But we have told them to keep it on hold unless and until this website becomes starts running smoothly. The direct tax provisional collections figures have exceeded the revised figures by 0.69%, and the gross direct tax collections figures have registered a growth of 20.33%. So this is the revenue collections figures which have estimated the collections targets. Coming to returns per se, first of all, we should go that this income tax charter had come this year, in the year 2014. Which you might be aware that of this new government which had taken charge in the year 2014 had come up with the income tax charter, wherein it has defined the role for both the parties, that is for the income tax department also and for the SSC point of view, which we have not have read this charter, wherein each of these parties has been given certain roles. That is what the income tax department is committed to and what the SECs are required to do. The charter has been divided into two parts. That it requires that income tax department has to give the fair and courteous and reasonable treatment to the SSC. Now we see that how the treatment has been given to the SSC after filing the returns and or before filing the returns. The charter has not been to treat the taxpayer as an honest taxpayer. So this is the first and the foremost requirement with what the charter says. So while before filing whenever you want to go to the income tax department, you have to see this, go and give this charter first of all and present to them that this is the charter that you have to treat the way in which the treatment has to be given to us. And all the service standards and the reports are to be published periodically, which has been published now on the income tax department's new website. The CPC 2.0 website has almost become so much apprehensive that it publishes all the reports which are required by the SSC to be required by the SSC has been given, and to maintain the confidentiality maintenance is required, and for that purpose this new website was released. And coming to the second part, that is, it requires that SSC has to be honest and compliant. This is the first and the foremost requirement. So while filing the returns also, you have to see that when the SSC gives you the detail, that details has to be fully disclosed and it has to be disclosed in the return of income. And it requires that the taxpayer has to be informed about the compliance which they are required to do it. And they are required to keep the accurate records They have to respond to the notices which are required to be given, and they have to pay the taxes in the time. These are the requirements for the part of the SSCs. Coming to the number of users registered on the Income Tax Department portal as on 30th of April is now gone up to 11 crores, which were 4 crores in the year 2011. To see the 4 crores to it has jumped to 11 crores registered individual users. And out of this total registered users, 9 crores 70 lakhs users have been linked with Aadhaar. The due date for linking the Aadhaar is 30th of June, which is approaching now. So see this, whether the due date is extended or not. See that if the Aadhaar is not linked, the Aadhaar has to be linked with the PAN. So before filing the return, you have to ensure that it is linked. Then the registered number of returns which has been filed is as of for the year financial year, in the financial year beginning from April is 33,85,000, out of which the returns which has been e-verified is 3,77,000. The grievances management system has also been started on the website, which is working smoothly, and in the year, that is in the financial year 2023-24, 2,79,000 grievance has been received by the department, of which 1,69,000 has been resolved. And how these grievances have been resolved, everybody knows that a simple communication system has been sent, that the mail has been sent to you, that your system you work in this way and your grievance is being answered, and nobody knows how this grievance has been resolved. Everybody is aware of this system. And these are the financial, this returns number of filers. The highest filers are about this. Out of the last year, almost around 7.78 crore people have filed the ITRs last year. Out of the 11 crores returns registered users, 7.78 crore are the people who have filed the returns last year. And if you see the figures, the 3.28 crores returns are being filed by ITR1, which are the ITR1 returns are there, and ITR4 is 2.13 crores. So if you sum both these things, almost around 55 to 60% returns are this, who are the simple filers. And this is the one of the biggest achievers, that when you file the return, the returns are being processed on a real-time basis. Within 10 to 15 minutes, the returns are being filed. The returns are being processed and the refunds are being delivered. So this is the biggest achievement in the last year. And coming to the income-wise range, the returns which have been filed, if you see the statistical data here, which is saying that the income range, almost around 1,69,890 people are there in India who are disclosing the income over 1 crore rupees. This is what the Income Tax Department's website shows, that almost around 1,69,890 people have disclosed the income which is above 1 crore rupees. So out of 135 crore individuals in India, 1,69,890 people only has the income above rupees 1 crore, which is some figure which is not digestible figure on the part of the country. And you see this, these are the plus and the minus figures, statistical information wise. There is ITR2 figure, ITR2 people, 27.45% growth was in ITR2, and ITR4S was minus 37.74% growth. Minus growth was there because ITR4S has been discontinued, which has been merged with ITR4. So total growth for the filing of the return has been 6.58% only in comparison to financial year 2021-22. Then coming to this returns processing growth, the processing growth has increased by 36.22%. This is because of the speed which has been there in the new website. The new website, once you file the returns has been processed on a smoother, because earlier in the old website, the returns were processed on the back processing method, but there it is processed on the real-time processing. Once you file the returns, the website verifies it based on the software system which was enabled, and the returns are being processed on the web. And there is a growth which is there in processing, is especially in case of ITR5, that is for the partnership form, wherein the growth is highest. There is 1,403.96% growth which is there in this. Coming to the returns, this sections, everybody is aware about the provisions of returns of income, that is 139(1), where you are required to file the return within the specified period of time limit, that is on or before the due date. So if you file the return on or before the before the due date, that is which is specified, that is 31st July, 30th September, or 30th November, based on the income, or the base if you are liable for audit, or you are liable for audit, or you are liable for transfer pricing audit, then it will be treated as a return filed within the due date. And but there are some of the other SSCs we are required to file the return despite they don't have any income. That is a mandatory requirement is there. That is basically even if you don't have the income, you are required to file the return of income under section 139(3). That is a provision which is there under the Income Tax Act. That is, even if you don't have the income, but if you have a loss, you are required to file the return. Then, if you don't file the return under section within that specified time limit, then it will be treated as a. But if you file before after the due date, but before the time specified, that is the last date is 31st of December, that is within the 9 months time, which is allowed to file a return, but we have to file the return with a specified late fee. That will be treated as a return, belated return under section 139(4). So both these returns are treated as returns filed, but you have to complete this return verification. Return verification has to be completed, then only your return will be accepted on the system. If you don't complete the return verification, then it will not be accepted by the system, and the system will not accept the return online, and it will be treated as return not filed. So once you have uploaded the return, you have completed the e-verification system. E-verification is completed. But thereafter also, if some defects are identified by the system, they will send you the notice, which will the notice under section 139(9), and you have to comply with that notice to remove that defect. And in that defect, if it is found a defect within 15 days time, you have to comply with that defect by removing the defect and upload the revised JSON, and then it will be uploaded by the system, and it will be accepted. The system has to accept your revised JSON, then only it will be treated as the return which is filed within the on or before the due date, or on or before within the specified time filed on the system. And that also has to be, where verification has to be completed, then only it will be treated as the return which is filed on time. Otherwise, if you don't comply with this notice, or if you can't comply within that notice within that specified time, the return will not be accepted on the system, and it will be removed from the system, and it will be treated that no return has not been filed on or before accepted by the system, and it will be removed from the system. So this specifically after filing the return also, you have to see that whether the return has been accepted on the system or not, processing has been completed or not. This is mandatory requirement on the income tax portal. So this has to be taken care of. Then even after due date, and whatever you have completed this, and if you have forgotten that after the specified time limit, if you have forgotten that if you that time limit is over and you have forgot to file the return, then you can the income tax department has come up with the updated return formalities. You have then filed the updated return also with specified with additional taxes which has been introduced under Finance Act 2022. Then once you have filed the return, there is a provision under section 139(5). You can revise the return if for the mistakes which are there in the original return, but that has to be filed only after on or before the completion of the assessment, or before the end of the relevant assessment year, whichever is earlier. Now the relevant assessment year, now it says that the time limit has been given, that is on or before the time limit also has been reduced. Now belated return also can be revised. This also facility is available. Earlier this provision, this facility was not available. Now here it says that you can disclose the additional income in the revised return, but it does not allow you to reduce your original income, and it does not allow you to increase your loss or disclose the increase the loss or reduce your original income which has been disclosed. And concealment penalty may be levied in certain cases if there is extraordinary disclosure. That precaution also has to be taken. But in this case, what you have to do is that if you are filing the revised return, you have to ensure that whatever the additional income you have been disclosing, the tax has to be paid before the filing of return of income, and it has to be submitted on or before the filing of return of income. Otherwise, the return may not be accepted by the system. And in this case also, your e-verification system, e-verification also has to be has to be completed. Return, and here the one section of section 139(5) says that return cannot be revised after the search and seizure cases are there. The provision, there is a provision here. Then updated return, section 139(8) is there, which has been made effective from 1st of April 2022. It says that return can be filed within a period of 2 years from the end of the relevant assessment year, and the option of the updated return is only once for the one assessment year. So it cannot be used for twice, more than once for any assessment year. It is there for report to report additional income and not to reduce any disclosed income or increase any losses. If this return is filed within a period of 12 months, then the for any assessment year, then the assessor has to pay regular tax plus interest plus 25% of the additional tax, and thereafter, if it is paid after, if the return is filed after the 12 months, then the assessor will has to pay regular tax plus interest plus 50% of the additional tax. But the tax has to be paid on or before the filing of return of income and has to be submitted along with the return of income, and then e-verification also has to be completed in such case. Otherwise, the return will not be accepted on the system. But such return cannot be filed, updated return cannot be filed in search and seizure cases. It is not allowed. Now, how e-verification can be completed? There are various alternative mechanisms which are available. That is, first is EVC through net banking. Net banking, you can do the e-verification, but bank account has to be linked with the PAN. Then only e-verification can be completed. This everybody will be aware because they are doing it since last 2006 onwards. Now, bank account, many people are finding it very difficult that bank account is not, they are unable to upload validate the bank account on the bank. So here you have to see that your bank account, either your PAN or the bank account name matches exactly with the PAN account. So once it matches with your PAN, then only it will allow you to do this EVC facilities. And secondly, private cooperative banks, that is just like small cooperative banks are like small cooperative banks, we do not have this IFSC code facilities which they are using it with some other banks. They are having a joint venture with some other big cooperative banks, big private banks. They will through that bank, then this facility will not be available to them. Second is to EVC through the bank account number. So in this case, you will have to pre-validate your bank account on the ITP portal, and your cell number has to be registered. So the cell number has to be the same which you have registered on the income tax portal and your bank account number. So both the cell number will be same, then only you will be able to validate, you will get the validation. Otherwise, your EVC won't come. Then you can do the same way through your demat account number in the same manner. Your demat you have to get this pre-validated demat account on your ITD portal, and your cell number also has to be registered. Then through a registered email ID and IM mobile number, provided this is only available for small SSEs where if your income is less than or equal to 5 lakhs and your refund is less than or equal to 1,100 rupees. Then Aadhaar OTP is the commonly used. Most of the returns are processed through Aadhaar OTP. But only thing is that your Aadhaar OTP, Aadhaar should be linked with the ITD portal, and your mobile number, it should have a mobile number registered. So whenever there is a change in the mobile number, it has to be ensured that the Aadhaar, mobile number is updated on the Aadhaar. That is mandatory. Now there are certain categories of people who are exempted from e-filing. Anybody who would like to answer this question, who are exempted from e-filing? There are certain categories of people who are exempted from e-filing. Anybody who will be can put in the chat box. Anybody who will like to answer this question? There is one category of person who is exempted from e-filing today, and who will like to file the return in physically. Interested to file return physically. One category of person is still exempted from e-filing. Super senior citizen who is an individual of 80 years or more, he should not have any income from profits and gains of business or profession. Can file it physically. But you go this with the return in the income tax department, see how the person, when you go with this return, filled up manually and submit this return over there, and see the face of the clerk when you take this return for a physical return over there. This person is category of person is exempted from return filing physical, manually e-filing is mandated. Then one category is added that this person is exempted, totally exempted from filing. That is not required to file the returns. A senior citizen, individual age of 75 years or more, under section 195P of the Income Tax Act, he should not have any income other than pension and interest. TDS should be computed and deducted by the notified bank where the pension account is maintained. This has been there in the Finance Act from the Finance Act 2021. So under 194P, a person who is receiving the pension and having that bank, he should submit that form number declaration. That bank will work out the tax and collect the tax from that person, and that bank will deduct the TDS and so deduct the tax of that person, and this person will be exempted from the return filing. So that TDS will be deducted and filed by that bank, and the TDS person will be exempted. So this is from Finance Act 2021. This provision was there. Right, Bharat?
Right. From assessment 22-23.
Yeah. Now ITR 1, 2, who can file, who cannot file, everybody is aware. I see, I will not waste much of the time because how nobody is filing the returns manually right now. Everybody has started using the software. So everybody is using the software. So everybody is aware of it. But one thing is there, it is very difficult that you please do not rely blindly on the software. 3 days, 4 days back when I come to the last session, I will discuss with you, this was a very horrible mistake with one of the good software has made this time. I'll come to that. I will discuss when it's some final is fine time. Because now the Income Tax Department statistical data says that 90% people are using the software to file the returns. So these are the ITRs who has to file, which ITR has to be used. If you have any queries, you can put it on the chat box. We will discuss it in the IR because this has no relevance right now. All the ITRs are automatically selected by the system. Now changes which are there in the ITR 283/24, that is in January 2023, department had this CBDT had come up with us common ITR. I think everybody would be aware that common ITR was to come this year, right? Then there will be a common ITR for all the forms. That there will be a common ITR and now there will be no other ITRs. ITR 1, 2, 3, 4 will be done away with. But there is no common ITR has come. All the ITRs, so the old ITRs are there. ITR 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All the ITRs are same. This has been notified on February 10, 2023 by notification number 4 of 2023. And there are no significant changes has been made. Only 7 changes are there this year. We'll discuss that 7 changes. That is changes in ITR form for ITR 23/24. That is you have to select old versus new tax regime. A new questionnaire in ITR 3 and 4 has been added to determine if the taxpayer has opted out of the new tax regime in the previous years. So this you have to give specially. You have to see that because for the business taxpayers, that is those who are having profit and gains, assessors who are having business income, that is they have been given only one time option, opting out option. So if they are opting out, they cannot again opt in for the new old tax regime or new tax regime. That option is there only. They can use one for the one time. So proper care has to be given for this is the new change which has been added. Then balance sheet reporting. There has been a slight change in the balance sheet reporting. That is when the loans and advances are being given to the related parties. that has to be mentioned in the balance sheet. So any loans and advances there, so how much loans has been given to the related parties, that has to be specified now under section. This is mentioned separately. So this is the change, another change which has been made. Then in salaries and income, that is from income and other sources, a new disclosure has been added. That is income from retirement benefits accounts. That is what you have received from retirement benefit accounts. That has to be given, and what are your old carry forward benefits about this your retirement benefits, means what are your ESOPs benefits you have carry forward, and what your ESOP benefit when it was taken, etc. has to be given. Your disclosure is required to be made about the taxable income on which relief under section 89A was claimed in any of the earlier years. So you see, this slowly and gradually department is collecting information, keeping it in your server. So based on this information, all your future, past and future returns are being processed. So income tax returns actually filing started in 2006, and almost we have completed 17 years now. So now the legal age of marriage, I think in India is 18 years, right? So 18 years has completed. Now it is the age of marriage has come, and now the new son is going to be after 2 or 3 years. How this is going to be used, you have to see this. The family is going, new family is going to start, and you have pre-filled returns, etc., is available. So till now we were dealing with this. We were preparing the returns. We were preparing the returns, and we were informing to the department, this is our taxable income. Now new returns, new generation will come with this new will come, that how taxable income will be, that will be given by the department as this is your income. So then another changes which has been made in all ideas about the crypto and virtual digital assets, schedule VDA has been added. So profits from the VDA or the crypto must be reported under this schedule. And VDA is treated, if the VDA is treated as a capital asset, then the quarterly breakup must be provided under the capital gains schedule, because every transaction of capital VDA must be reported along with the dates. And section 115 BBH is there, wherein income from virtual capital assets, when it says that deductible expenditure also, if it is there, then that is allowable expenditure. But if there is any loss, etc., is there in a business income, or is that the loss is not allowable, etc., the provision is there. So before filing this, you just go through that schedule. Then about deemed capital gains in section 45(4), there is a separate schedule which is added in the ITR 5. That is when there is a dissolution or retirement of in the this form or a partnership form or a cooperative society or association of persons. Then there is a distribution of asset which is there. Then what will be the income which will be chargeable to tax, that has to be given separately. Then what will be the fair market value of the asset which has been taken on the date of transfer, that has to be given. A schedule as a line item has been added. And what is the full market value of the full value of the consideration which is received or accruing as a result of this transfer. And from that, the reduction under section 48(3) for the cost of indexation also has been inserted. So accordingly, it will be compute the deemed capital gains, and taxes will be charged on that. And for intraday trading disclosure, that is a new income tax forms requires that the turnover of intraday must be reported under the newly intraday schedule, that is trading account schedule has been added. So intraday, for the intraday you have to add this, the new schedule has been there given. FII's disclosure, you have to give the SEBI registration number if the SEBI registration number is there, especially for FII investors. So this has been added in the form. Then about the changes in the Financial Act, that is everybody, these are the returns changes, these are the minor changes which were there. For the cooperative societies, other than the solely earning foreign, solely in located in the IXC centers, then the minimum tax is changed from 18.5% to 15%. Then option to disclose under income tax chargeable in the 115 BBIA, then the tax is calculated at 30%, because these are the changes which are made in the ITR. In case of capital gains, surcharge is restricted to 15% under section 112. There is no restriction on the slab. If all the members of the AOP are companies, then the surcharge rate is 15%. These are the changes in the Finance Act. And last date of linking of PAN and Aadhaar, that is, these are the new important related circulars for ITR filing. Form number 10 is enabled for filing on 21st of April. So this filing has been enabled. CBDT circular of 6/2023 dated 24th May has been extended to due date for 10A and 10AB. That is specially for trust, etc. Those who have not filed that they are required to file 10B in respect of donations which has been received. Otherwise, the donees will not be able to claim the deductions for donations. So if they have not filed it, please file it. So 30th June 2023 is the last date. And those who are required to, the trustees which are required to having provisional registrations, so they have to file form number 9A and 10. ITR utility 1 to 4 are available. Department has released Excel-based utility for filing. So those who are using ITR utilities filing, they can file it. CBDT has come up with this circular about the returns, that is software provider, especially for software provider. When this utility came on, this circular came on May 25, 2023. The software providers are strictly advised to adhere to these rules and avoid inconvenience to the taxpayers who may use the software. That the validation rules are there. Because now see, one thing is that any software provider who is developing the software, they have to register with the income tax portal, and they are given one registration number. Without this registration number, they cannot use this. They cannot develop their utility cannot be validated, and their return will not be uploaded on the software. And they have to go through these validation rules. Without these validation rules, the utility, that JSON file which is generated, that JSON file cannot be generated without this validation. You see that some errors which come after you run this utility, the errors which come. So once that error, that validation utility is there, the errors should not be there. It should be come fully without error. Now, 2-3 days back, I was just filing one return. I just thought that I generally advise in all these seminars when I speak, I just say don't blindly rely on the software. This is my, those who have been listening to me in last 17 years, I've been speaking, I always say don't blindly rely on any softwares. Because what happens, the software providers are definitely, they are technically expert. They may not be expert in the law. They may be expert in the law, but they may not be that much expert in the law, what the law is written in the law. I just took that JSON file and just run, because my habit is that whenever any return is prepared, I just cross-check it on the income tax department's utility. What the blunder it was made by the software, it was a very reputed software. The tax liability which was computed by the software had a 10,000 rupees difference. The 10,000 rupees liability was lesser than what income tax department's utilities are calculated it. And it was in the capital gains. I just verified it what exactly, because when being this, it just verified it what exactly where the difference was there. The difference was such that in the capital gains figure, the software was not picking up certain transactions which was there. The software was not picking up certain transactions which were there. Purchase figures were not being picked up properly, and the computation was being made. Now this can happen. Now this can definitely happen because softwares are there, because these are ultimately technical errors are there. This may happen. Utilities are generated because whenever the figures are happening, because it may pick up any figures which are there. The capital gains amount which was being picked up was randomly some other amount which was there, and what was picked up by the department's utility was, when I compared both the figure, department's utility was definitely giving me the correct result. So I always say that department's utility are definitely to be relied upon. You please verify it on the department. Whenever there is a difference, tried and verified which is correct, because computation, both the things will give you the computational income will be given by both the, so either by the software also and by the department's utility also. Compare both, where there is a difference is just verify it. And this year and that liability was a huge amount. Now 10,000 plus interest plus penalty, how much amount it would be there? Even and these are a small amount. Suppose it was a big amount, what could have been there? So this is one of the things I wanted to bring it to your notice. And if you see the major part of the error, in one case it was there in 2014-15, it was there. A depreciation figure which was there, a depreciation figure in the computation, it was appearing in the software, but when it was running in the utility, the scheduled depreciation was not being picked up from in the software. So this error was happening, and as a result of this, many returns there were errors. The depreciation figures, the notices were coming that depreciation claim was not being allowed. And till now the SSCs, we are fighting up with the SSCs that this depreciation figures are being not allowed because system has not been updated. System has not, because systems has not accepted the depreciation in the utility. The depreciation figures has actually not gone in the utility. So these type of blunders are being made in the software. Now, why new portal was required? That is interface. Now everybody, the system accepts the information from everybody. And from everybody, all the information are there. The software has become interactive. You have a better vision, a better view of the software. And now you see that information is collected, and based on this, you have all types of reports which are available on the single window. Everybody uses the new software, because if you see the income tax department, they also have been using the same software now. The interface is same for everybody. So because of this, the working has become smoother, the processing has become smoother, and the results have become smoother. The refunds have been coming fast. Everybody uses this. The results are faster. You have what is happening because of this? Because of this, you have all the details, your guided paths, you have explained note, all the auto-populated items that you see. You have the pre-filled utility has come. The details have been gathered from banks, your stock exchange, your sales and securities, your all details, insurance details, PPF details, PF figures, everything is captured in the returns, and all the returns utilities are available. So what you have to do is, you have to just verify whether this is correct or not. Based on this, income department is giving you a pre-filled utility, and based on this pre-filled utility, just see whether this is correct or not. Income is gathered from all this GSTN, TDS, NSDL, CIBIL, RBI, Stock Exchange, IRDA, CAMS, CDSL, everything is available. So these are the services. You can e-verify your return. If you are not done, link Aadhaar, income tax return, e-Pays, e-PAN, even e-PAN, you can generate e-PAN instantly. If you are having the Aadhaar, you don't have to go to the NSDL, you can just generate Aadhaar within 30 seconds without paying a single rupee. And this PAN, you can download it on the income tax portal by paying just some nominal fee. You can authenticate the notices and you received it. You can know your AO. You can verify your TDS on cash withdrawal, how much cash you have withdrawn from the bank, and how much TDS is to be will be deducted by the bank. That also you can verify it on the income tax portal based on your PAN number. So this also it can be verified on the income tax portal now. So you know there is a limit on the cash withdrawal. That is what will be your TDS to be deducted on your PAN number. So these can be also verified, that how much bank will deduct TDS on your PAN number. This also can be verified from your internet. So this is a guided tour on the portal. You have the notifications, you have this. You have to just sit in this way and manage the portal. Sit your laptop on the Sunday on the screen, and you can see what you can do it on the portal. You can view all these campaigns what are run by the department will be there. You can verify your service requests, submit any Benami income tax evasion. If you want that your neighbor is having any property, you can submit his name and details also on there. So this comply with the notice, download CSFI. Even now the income tax 10 returns filing has also started on this website. So new changes in the portal, that is there. If you put your PAN number, their OTP, your password wrong more than thrice or 4 times, then you automatically it locks your this PAN number, and you will not be able to log in. And you will log in. but you have the option to log in with Aadhaar. So you can directly log in with the Aadhaar OTP also. That option is available. So if you like this, you can with Aadhaar OTP you can log in. Then expanding, capturing information from all earlier years, that is, you can prefill option is available. Then validation of bank account before filing your return itself to get the refund without it. So suppose if you have put the bank account in any of the earlier years, if your refund is pending, and you have the bank account which has been closed now. So now you are worried that where I will get the bank refund, in which bank account I will get. So what you have to do is you have to just put the new account, just validate that bank account, but that bank account should be either with the nationalized bank or with the private bank, which should be registered with the IFSC facility. Then only you will be able to do it. So validate that bank account and you will get the refund in the new bank account. Don't worry, so you will get that refund in that new bank account itself. Then real-time processing of returns. This year was the great return that many people, you have filed the return before you reach home, the refund has come to the bank account. People were very happy. Your fees may not have come, but the refund has come to them. So this was the first time that people were, at least in 5 minutes, I have got many messages this time that 5 minutes, within 5 minutes, the return after filing the return, within 5 to 10 minutes, the person had got the acknowledgement, that got the refund also in 5 minutes. This was one thing. And the site map is available. So what a person wants to do, suppose he doesn't want the services of any chartered accountant to file the return. So he can just work based on this. He can do this return filing also. So this services are available. If for the salaried employee, he wants any guidance to file the returns, business person who wants to guidance, everything is available. Provided if he understands this, then he can file the returns. Assisted filing is also there. So is on the website. So these services also can be available. For salaried employees, for business employees, everything is available. So those who wants to can get the service of this. And assisted filing is also there. This is the assisted filing is also available on the website. So how to use this portal? If you want, anybody wants to raise the grievances also can be raised. For tax professionals, for chartered accountants, various services which are available, that is also there in the portal which is there. For chartered accountants, to file any chartered forms, the person should be added as a taxpayer and the taxpayer request has to be accepted. That is mandatory. Procedure is same. There is no change in the procedure, but for each assessment year, the form should be assigned. Acceptance has to be given. And for each form, there has to be assignment has to be there. You can upload the bulk form, that is 15 CB also. The option earlier was not there, now the option is there. The 15 CB also you can upload bulk. You can view the 5 statutory forms from earlier from the old website also, what the form that can also be viewed, and you can view and submit the grievances. And there is a higher security options has been given in the profile, through digital signature, to static password, etc., that you can verify. Through registered DSC also is there. But one thing here, the biggest change which has been made here is that once a DSC has been registered, that DSC has to be used till that DSC is expired. You cannot use multiple DSC which was used earlier in the earlier website. You have to continue that DSC till that DSC is expired. So that is the biggest lacuna. And earlier what used that the DSC, the party used to, the SSC used to sign and send you that file for uploading, PFX file. So that has gone away. Here the DSC has to be affixed on the machine for uploading the form. Without affixing the machine, it cannot be uploaded. So these are the, if you want to learn anything about anything, then the guided videos are also available on the portal. So filing the forms, how you do it for other agencies, if they want to file any forms, they have to verify any things, then they have to pay the fees and they can avail these services. There is like a Carvey is there or CAMS are there, they want to verify any PAN number or buyer number, then they have to buy these services. They can buy it and they can use this, they can avail these services. What is not great about this file is about the sluggish speed. The speed is very slow, very time it is surfing it goes round and round and round. You do not get this. Many times when the data is not, because many forms you have to fill it up online. And at times the data does not get saved. That is the biggest problem. Then verification about 206 AB and AC, that problem was there, but now compliance portal has been started. So that has been shifted to the another portal. So this was earlier linked with this portal, but now that has been shifted to another portal. You have a separate portal for that wherein you can verify it. And use text documentation and help is there. Because everything is put on one portal only. And still the portal is under the development when it develops and still it is not been completed yet. So what is the difference between JSON and XML? So what was there? The developers, a fully automated system. Those who want to understand, they can see the difference. What is there? Challenges are definitely there because profile updation. Whenever this problem is there, at the time you don't change. Profile updation is mandatory. And while doing the profile updation, you don't put any of the letters. After the letters, you don't put any this commas or full stop, etc. Otherwise, the system will get hanged. So that is mandatory. The special character should not be put. Otherwise, the system will not work properly and it will give you the errors. Password reset, definitely. Password reset is also becoming a big problem because you have to remember the passwords properly. Otherwise, this will, once you forget the password, to reset the password is the biggest challenge. But through mobile, through other OTP and through your email OTP, you will be able to do. But SSC, it goes to the SSC or the person whose name is mentioned, and that person is not available. That will be very difficult. Digital signature, EM signer. Again, digital signature registration is the biggest challenge. So once you find that digital signature is lost or that digital signature is not working properly, then again it will be a big issue. Filing of forms and approval. Definitely you need to have that token ready with available to you by the time of approval. Filling of the forms, definitely if the server gets crashes or if the server gets cached or the digital signature is not available, then you will not be able to approve the form. Bank validation account is mandatory. Without bank validation, you will not be able to approve this file, because before filing any return of account, you have to see that the bank account is pre-validated. If the bank account is pre-validated, then only the refund will come to that account, and at least minimum 2 bank accounts should be pre-validated, so that if the refund is pending in first account, refund will come in another bank account. Prefill utility and 26 AS verification confirmation is required, because wherever you see that 26 AS, any of these entries which are not belonging to you, you have to just inform in the AIS. AIS is that many entries in the AIS, that is that this entry does not belong to you, then you should inform that this entry does not pertain to you, and that information you can give it to them directly so that they will cross-check and cross-verify the information. In AIS, many entries are there, their entries are appearing, duplicate entries are there, so you can inform in them that these are the duplicate entries. Prefill utility, definitely there are certain issues in the prefill utility. There are some entries are being captured properly, some are not properly. So the verification of that utility is also becoming a good, taking most time. Website use is definitely a greatest concern. But software updation, definitely you require to update the software. Software updation is mandatory. Without software updation, you cannot use this website properly. These are the default software requirements which has been given on the income tax portal. You will have to note it down and you have to see this software minimum requirement is available or not. Future, definitely a taxpayer can see all the interactions, uploads and pending actions in the single dashboard along with the follow-up action. So you cannot hide anything what you have done with your tax field. You say that I have done this, the taxpayer will come to you with the date, timing, login details, etc. everything. What you have done, what you have not done. You cannot say that I have done on this time, this thing has been done. How much time you have wasted on the website, that time will not be there. But what you have done successfully, that will be there on the website. What you have not done, what time, whatever you wasted will not be there on the website. So keep a logic record is there. New portal for the tax system and will be enabled. That is, now you can pay the taxes through UPI, net banking, even credit card system is going to come. RTGS, NFT from any of the bank is already started is there. Then a key portal of the desktop will be available. Now you will be able to file the returns through mobile app also. The system is under development and in very shortly it will be available. The taxpayer will be able to access the app via mobile network at any point of time. So through mobile app, you will be able to file your return of income. That is coming. Social media connect is available. You see every time we get in our website, this much returns file, this much return file, but what are the issues which are faced, which are not available on the website? So this is there. AIS, which was launched in 1/6, the rules came in 1/6 to 1st July to June 2020. Now the AIS, that is 26 AIS has been converted into AIS, where you have all the informations, that is part A and part B. It has information about the payment of taxes, specified transactions. So before filing the return of income, you have to just ensure that whatever details are there in the AIS has been cross-matched or cross-checked with the return of income. They are available or they are there, or the information has been given by the SSC at the time of filing of return order. If there are any mistakes in part A, that is PAN number, Aadhaar number, date of birth, incorporation information, mobile number, email address, and address in part A. If there is any mismatch, you can get this corrected by filing 49A submission to the department, because all these notices, your information, your notices are going to come on the email ID, and the messages communication source will be your email ID and the mobile number. So if these are not correct, the notices may be communicated to the wrong email ID and number. And under the Information Technology Act, the notice which are coming to the email ID or under the department has said that any communication made to the email ID is a valid communication. So any change is there, you have to get this updated through this filing the 49A form or the NSDL or PIN Facilitation Center. You can do it on the online also. That online is also available. So just verify about this, and any pending proceedings to the income tax department, any demand or refund, any information related to completing proceeding are also available now in the 26 AS. So just verify it, and if there is any correction which is required, any proceedings which is required to be corrected, this also can be done through this. So about these are the new this now AIS is a real time. This new AIS will be updated every 3 months based on the feedback what the SSC is receiving, giving on the web portal. Whenever there is a feedback which is available, every 3 months this will be updated. So if there are any changes, so at the time of filing of the return also, you have to ensure that you keep a record of this data while filing the return, because if any of the changes are happening, suppose if you have filled up the information based on the details which is given to you, and after that the details are the information which has been changed and it does not match, then it will be a problem. What a problem will be there, because some information which has been added subsequently and the assessing officer says that this information was not been added or given at the time of filing the returns, then there may be a consequences that the penalty or the penalty or additions may be done by the assessing officer. But when you have the sufficient information, then you can be submitted in the course of assessment. So this data analytics will be done, will be populated based on the PAN and the non-PAN data, which will be based on the AIS information. And when you get this information, and if there is a time and with this information is there, it may be practically not possible to keep the track for each type of client. But definitely when the time, because all the audits etc. gets over in the month of September, then some time limit may be given to verify that cross check must be given. So definitely this one type of services may be available for the software providers, that they can come up with some type of software wherein they can just verify this AIS. Where there is a difference, they can find out, or they can locate that these are the difference which was there in earlier and this. Then they can come up with this type of analytical tool wherein this items can be added. So in AIS, you can give the information whether this information is correct, whether this is wrong, whether this is duplicate, whether this relates to the earlier time, because in many cases it has been found that some information may be duplicate, some may belong to the earlier assessment year, some may belong to the another assessment year. So the feedback is required to be given when there is definitely a difference in the when the difference when this is found incorrect. Based on this, the taxpayer in feedback which is given, department will cross-verify, cross-check it, and the information will be passed on to the respective taxpayer, and the details will be very cross-verified, and then if it is found correct, the AIS will be updated. Now, the tax payment system, Ultas, many of the banks which has been were transferred to the income tax portal. So it has been seen that those who are using the software, and in the software, when you select certain banks, automatically the BSR code of that specific bank is been getting selected. But from 1st April, when these banks has been shifted, the BSR codes of many of the bank has been changed. So just don't blindly selecting the banks. Just select the bank that BSR code does not get selected incorrectly, and you can, so that you don't get the credits for the taxes which has been paid. So verify the BSR codes correctly, that your software selects the BSR code correctly. So these are the new banks which are highlighted in red. Have been migrated bank or the new bank which has been added. The dates are which are there. So Central Bank of India, City Union Bank, IndusInd Bank, Karur Vysya Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, RBL Bank. These are the banks which are shifted to the income tax portal. So the now tax has to be paid from the income tax portal directly. The department has come up with another new help desk. These are the help desk numbers are there. The help desk numbers which has changed, that is Aikar Sampark Chandra, e-filing help desk. For this, email IDs have also changed. So any issues related to this, you can contact with this help desk numbers. Then the Bangalore help desk is info for anything issues related to your tax audit filing, income tax return filing, taxpayer service. The dedicated email IDs are there. They respond to you within 24 hours, and your issues definitely get resolved. So in case any issues are there, you can write or send a mail to them. These are basically handled by the department and together with the Infosys. Then the department has come up with this old department, the demand management system, wherein if any old pending demands which are there, that has to be resolved, because many people are going and visiting to the income tax department and they are not getting the resolution about the pending department demands resolution. So analytical tool has been, CPC has come up with a separate section of the CPC, wherein an analytical tool which has been monitored by the Mysore Infosys AIS case, wherein you have wherever the demands which has been outstanding and resolutions are not been resolutions are not coming, then the SSC whose demand is outstanding is required to send an email to the demand management team service. So therein the subject line should be the PAN number, assessment year, and the tax demand Mumbai. That is, if the demand belongs to Mumbai, then the demand, it should be Mumbai. ITO details has to be given. So which ITO has raised the demand. Then the email ID should be addressed to taxdemand@cpc.incometax.gov.in, wherein you need to send the full details of your demand along with the supporting documents. So earlier you were visiting to the income tax office or the resident assessing officer. Assessing officer used to with all the documents. Instead of visiting to the assessing officer, now you have to give all the documents to the on the mail. You have to send it to the mail. In the mail, you have to write your PAN number, your assessment year for which the demand is outstanding, and the region for which the demand is outstanding, and the ITO number you have to give. The demand mail has to be to the tax demand at cpc.incometax.gov.in. Once you send that mail, you will get an acknowledgement number, which will be auto-generated. So it is just like a system-generated mail. And then once you send that mail, a call will come to confirm that you have sent this mail or not. So this is a call center number. From mail call will come for confirmation. See that this call is not treated as a spam call. This will be coming as a it will be don't make it as, because this number, this is a number, you have to see that this number, the message comes as a spam number. this message comes as a spam number in your phone number. So this, either the SSC will get this call, inform the SSC that this call will come from the income tax department to verify whether this message has been sent by you or not. Because that will, the message will come to the SSC whose number has been registered on the PAN number. So this will come, and this is the analytical tool which has been developed, wherein the information will be verified. Now, what will happen? This is a team consisting of department has created a team to resolve all these pending demand issues, wherein there will be the team consisting of assessment officer, a team of professionals, and the joint assessing officer. They will verify all the issues and they will resolve all the pending demands which are there. And any issues, any SSC who wants to verify whether what is the status of the demand, then they can call on these inbound numbers from the Monday to Saturday. This timing has been given. So this is the new demand management system. Resolve demand, old demand, outstanding resolutions has been started by. So this is the, so income tax department would never have not been the updates for finding. So this is only remaining now. Coming to this, so return generally prepared by the staff and uploaded. So don't rely blindly that my staff does it, I'm not responsible. No, ultimately it is our responsibility. Ensure that the sufficient and accurate backup is available for the future requirements, because now don't depend much on the system. Better to have some store backup and delete all the workings which are created, because we have n number of workings. And ensure that the latest figures are available, because during the faceless assessment, when we go and find out the details we don't know what is the right figures which are available, and from the source is also not available. So delete once the files are filed, delete all the unwanted workings from the system. And private software should not be considered blindly accurate and final. This is the good learning which I have got it. Validation utilities provided by the income tax more or less control oriented. Final computation needs to be physically verified, and I have seen many good professionals that who can modify the utilities of the income tax department. They can modify the utilities of the income tax department also. Plus, please don't do that, because once you modify the utilities also, and you will be able to generate the JSON file correctly. But processing now, it will be done by the what it is written on the software over there. You will going to get the demands in there, because it will not be accepted by the system. Then stringent action on the this filer, non-filer, that is ATSC, has been introduced to extend the deduction in the section. ATS is related to not filed within the due date, that is prosecutions is there. If you don't file the return, imprisonment up to 2 years. I think one case law was there, Bharat, right?
Yes.
2 days before, one case was there about non-filer was first time. I think one filer was this.
Yesterday one case was cited for the jewelry. Two brothers were prosecuted.
This was the first case, I think it was there, no?
Yeah.
So that, I think 3,000 rupees up to 3,000 this is the tax payable, they have been given exemption, but for companies has not been given any exemption in this. This is basically to prevent the abuse of exemptions which are provided, especially in Benami properties or sale companies. They have don't for the abuse has been given, so no exemption has been given for them. And 2-3 days back, I think this is a new challenge now, that person who is assisting in filing the returns, their numbers and their details was being asked to submit in the 133(6) notice, that who has assisted you in filing the details about the claims which you have made in returns. So this is also a big challenge. But when you see this, I think this notice has been come from that the deduction which has been claimed by some government employees over there in the city of Jammu. They have claimed some exemptions, some exemptions which have been claimed, certain exemptions which has been claimed bogus deduction under Chapter 6A, etc. So these are not something which are, because definitely all things are available on site. So this type of, I think, should be avoided as a professional. So these issues do not come. Definitely, when we do it properly, the question may not come. But when the junior files the returns of the ITR by company filing the another company's balance sheet. What to say, these things may happen. Don't do this type of thing, just verify it. I think I have tried my level best to give the proper justice and try to cover everything in the given time. But purely these is for my, what I have compiled and what I have understood, and these are my interpretations and should not be treated as any legal interpretations. And this is only for the discussion purpose, and should learn the act first and should understand the act first. Any questions are there, I would like to take it up. Thank you very much, everybody, for the patient sharing.
Yes.
Kathy, any questions are there? You can take it up.
Yes, sir. There are questions. Can I proceed with them?
Yes, please.
Avinash, thank you very much for the superb in a lucid language. And finally, you covered the disclaimer also, putting disclaimer in the last slide. That is all the best part of that. After listening to Avinash, I remember going back the memory of 40 years. Okay, we used to file the manual return. And in manual return, we used to all chapter 6A deductions, acknowledgement should be attached to claim
Yes.
that chapter 6A deduction. Even dividend claim also we used to attach all the dividend claim acknowledgements. तो रिटर्न की इतनी थप्पी होती थी, और रिटर्न की इतनी थप्पी होने के बाद भी सपोज प्रॉपर कुछ नहीं किया तो उसको क्लेम नहीं मिलता था. 154 क्लाइंट फाइल करो एंड एवरीथिंग वाज मैनुअल. तो आज की जो पीढ़ी है, आज की जो जनरेशन है, they are very lucky that they are filing return on one click. Of course, one click में there are so many glitches explained by Avinash in a very lucid and very systematic manner and very informative manner. But really, this generation is very lucky. They are filing return on one click. They are paying tax challans in one click. पहले तो अविनाश 4 चलन होता था, एडवांस का 4 चलन होता था, वो काउंटर फॉइल हम रखते पड़ते थे. वी यूज्ड टू गो टू रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया, वहां लाइन में खड़े रहते थे. एंड वो एक्नॉलेजमेंट वो रिटर्न अपने अटैच नहीं किया तो ये क्रेडिट नहीं मिलती थी, वापस 154 ये वो ब्ला ब्ला. देयर वर सो मेनी इश्यूज इन मैनुअल फाइलिंग. वेरी लकी आज की पीढ़ी. रियली थैंक यू वेरी मच अविनाश फॉर
no attachment in return and no attachment everywhere.
So this is
The reality check આપો છો તમે.
So way back
all attachment lost.
Way back to memory of 42 years of my racing practice. Thank you very much for the Avinash for the really great knowledge to all the members who are attending. Also, we are circulating the PPT after this lecture. Now I'll request Kathy to carry on for the questions and answers.
Sir, the first question is, what option is available when the return of income could not be verified and the time limit for filing the return has already expired? These days, condonation option for e-verify is not available. What is the solution?
Condonation option is already there. They should have sent you the mail for condonation. It is already there on the website. Condonation is there on the website.
But we have to file 119 application if the refund is there, not otherwise.
Condonation is there on the website.
But that is for the refund only. What about
Online is there. Condonation is available on the website. You can request for the condonation.
Okay.
what about the refund is not there? In that case,
even if the refund is not there, condonation is there. I would give this one good thing, one good example for this. My wife's return I had filed. I got the refund. I got the refund also. I got the acknowledgement, and after about 3 months, the return was not available on the website, and notice came that I had not filed the return.
oh,
So this is only to e-verify. Everything else is
I
done.
got it for e-verification also. For e-verification also, there is a request for the condonation is there over there.
Okay, sir.
And if it is not available, you can send the mail to the this on the e-filing web manager. You can e-filing web manager. You will get it.
Okay, sir.
They will allow you to file. And how many days this pertains to which assessment here?
Sir, it's not specified, the query does not specify that particular.
Yeah, but see that that time limit which is just added to that time limit, another time limit also has been reduced for
They said
you.
the time limit to file the return has also expired.
The
In
time
this
limit has
particular
also expired. So, but now then it will be very difficult. They won't allow you to do that. So that will be treated as written, which is in range, which is not been treated as filed. Now, generally they don't allow you, but see that if send a mail to them, if they allow it is full, otherwise this will be very difficult to raise because it will not be done now.
Please
Chances
can
are-
you find updated return, Ravinash? If in that case updated return time is available, in that case,
Updated return time is available, then you file updated return with additional taxes.
right.
Okay, sir. Sir, the next question is by CA Vaibhav Seth. Is the department issuing scrutiny notices due to non-reply in AS?
So if you this department return,
Yes.
yes, definitely, if the transactions are more than this below above the exemption limit.
Okay, sir.
Otherwise, no.
Okay. The next question is by Jeanal. Belated return for AY 22-23 had been filed after 1st August 2022, for which ITR verification period was for 30 days from date of filing. But when we tried to e-verify after 30 days, the option to e-verify was not available. What can be done in such cases? What will be the status of such returns filed? It's very
But they
similar
would
to the
have,
first
they would
case.
have sent to you the for condonation, apply for condonation, because generally what happens when you fail to e-verify it, they send you the mail. They send you the mail that you file a condonation request. This is the service which the income tax department has started. That
Okay,
you file the condonation request, and then they assist you to file a condonation request. You see that the request will be available on the website. You just search for that, and you can file for the condonation request. So we apply online for the condonation request. They may allow you.
Okay, sir. So the next question is by Hetal Shah. AIS reflects details on sale of property. However, when there are multiple buyers, same consideration amount is reflected twice in both the property owners, buyers. In such case, would we file a response editing the consideration amount or keep it as is?
You keep it as it is. We say inform them that the case amount is reflected twice. No problem.
Okay, sir. Because it's usually 50-50 or some. There's a certain percentage assigned to
So
every buyer.
in that case, you can just put a remark over that there's the property, the share is 50%, so amount is reflected twice. You can mention over there.
Okay, sir. So the next question is by Neha Gupta. Do you get capital gain from utility?
Capital gain utility you will not. You can get it from the broker. Broker will give it to you. Generally, the broker have started providing it.
Okay, sir.
Broker, and especially if you are using that any of these noted brokers, all the brokers have started giving it.
The next question is by Advocate Atul Kakkad. I have a question. Wherein the faceless assessment was completed recently on date 25th of May 2023. In case of a firm, the demand notice does take into account the tax payable on income if firm, but does not take into account the advance tax paid and self-assessment has been paid.
The demand notice does take into account the firm tax payable on the income of
Income if it is a firm, but does not take into account the advance tax that is already paid and self-assessment tax that has already been paid. They don't give the credit for the advance tax paid or the self-assessment tax paid.
They should generally give. You can apply for the rectification in the section 154 online. They will give it to you immediately.
Sir, this is in response. This is in continuation to the first question by Sirima. She's saying that the condonation is not available for all assessees. Only when we get an email, then only we can condone. But what if the email has not been received?
You can apply it online. There is an option for condonation directly online in the web portal only. It is available for application for condon. On the income tax website portal, you can go. It is there.
Okay.
Apply for condonation.
The next question is by Mr. Malik. ITR for AY 1819 was filed and it got rejected due to non-acceptance of reply to section 139(9), subsection 9. Approval from CCIT taken under section 119 subsection 2 B, as there was a refund of rupees 6 lakhs.
Now, again, now what want to do?
There's no
Now you want to
continuation.
file the return or you want to?
Okay, return filed but could not be verified due to issues in income tax verification too. What can be done in this case? Follow-up taken emails would not be resolved within 120 days, so the return also got invalid.
So in this case, you approach to the assessing officer. Assessing officer will raise a ticket over there on the ITBA, and ITBA will get resolved over there. If it is not happening, then you can go send a mail to the to this CPC ITR processing email ID. I'll share with the CPC ITR processing email ID.
Okay.
1 minute. I will give you the CPC ITR email.
So should I proceed with the?
I will share the CPC ITR email processing email ID. You can send a mail to them.
Okay.
You can send the mail to them. They will process your ITR. Don't worry.
Okay, sir. So we'll leave it in the chat box later.
Yeah. I'll give it to you.
The next question is by Advocate Jaideep Sonpal. You had mentioned DSC should be used till expiry, but what if there is a correction in the name of the director with MCA database and PAN card? Then is that the case? How to use the DSC?
Then you have to write to the this CPC to disassociate the DSC. There is a long procedure. It is there. You have to write to the CPC to disassociate the DSC and associate the new DSC. Then only they will be able to do it. Otherwise, no.
Okay, sir. Thank you. The next question is again by Advocate Atul Thakrar. It relates to AY 2122. Assessee has received demand without considering the TDS reflected in 26 AS and also has not considered advance tax paid by net banking. CPC says that there is tax credit mismatch as the date of challan is not available and the challan number is also not available. However, the assessee has all details and has applied for 154 rectification, but suo moto the demand is recomputed and it still stays there.
But in 26 AS, if it is available, then you should get the credit. If the 26 AS it is having, then credit has to come.
Considering the TDS is reflected in 26.
Just unmute that person. Let him speak. Let us see. Let us resolve his issue. What is that?
Atul Thakrar sir, are you available?
If the amount is, if the credit is entry is available in 26 years, definitely that credit has to come.
So I have requested him to.
And see one thing I'll just say, once this assessment order is, let us see one thing, once the assessment order is passed, if the credit has not come, you have to approach to the assessing officer. Assessing officer has full right, assessing officer has to give the credit for that. It is the right or the duty of if the CPC has not given the credit, assessing officer has to, you have to visit to the assessing officer and you request the assessing officer. If the entries are appearing in the 26 years, the credit has to come to the credit you have. Yes, Atul bhai, tell me.
The assessing officer refused to take any action. He said that you approach CPC Bengaluru only.
Who is where this case belongs to which office?
My local jurisdiction, Orissa, Rourkela.
Where?
Orissa, Rourkela, Orissa.
Basically, assessing officer cannot say it like this. This is not. He has to give it the credit. You can. I'll give you one email ID. Just note down that email ID. I'll just give. Wait. Just I'll give you. I'll just share the email ID.
Yeah.
Avinash, we can file the application with CPgram also. That will give fast result.
CPgram, you can file it with CPgram, but it will not make that much sense with CPgram. But directly, it will make. I'll give you the email ID. But you have to write to the CIT TDS CPC. I'll give you that email ID. Just note down CIT.CPC CIT.CPC.Bangalore at incometax.gov.in. Send it to them along with all the documents.
Kathy, put it in chat box.
I am not able to type in the chat box.
Okay.
And that ITR grievance was there, no? One thing I think rejected this refund grievance was there, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There noted down that CPC ITR.
This is for Jinal.
I think Maulik was there, no?
Achamal. I cannot type, sir. Can someone else type, please? Jaideep bhai, can you help me?
Jaideep, can you
He's
please
typing, sir. He's typing.
CPC ITR dot grievance at incometax.gov.in. Maulik's issue will be resolved by sending the mail to this, and your issue will be resolved by this.
Okay, sir. Sir, the next question is by Jinal. Belated return for AY 2020 22-23 has been filed. Okay, this was done. Sir, condonation request was not available on IT portal, but when we contacted the IT helpline, then they informed us to file ITR 8A. This is in continuation to the query that she had posted.
Let me see how they have removed condonation request till yesterday. It was there. Let me check. I'll come back to you. Rima is there, no? Jinal.
Jinal.
Let me see. State condonation request was there last time. Let me speak to them. How they have removed it. Let me check.
Okay. The next question
grievance
is
spelling. Jaideep, grievance spelling is wrong. GRIE. GRIEVANC. Let me write it. CPC dot ITR.
okay, sir.
Thank you.
So the next question is by Dr. Bharat Vasani. If the TDS is not claimed and the return is processed, what is the remedy? Can we apply for revised return under section 1?
Assessment year. Assessment year.
Sir,
17-18.
Huh?
17-18.
17-18.
That is
Annual
the
return. Bharat bhai, you are the right, you know very well.
no 154 is rejected. I think we should go for appeal only because
See, once the income is declared, actually it is our right to claim. We can go for appeal.
yeah, that is what I am thinking.
We can go for appeal for that.
Rejected 154 thrice. From the last date, we can take 30 days and we can file appeal.
Yeah, definitely. Why not?
Thank you. Yeah.
I even doubt how can this they can remove it from the system. It was condonation. See, basically, I have one more disclaimer I have to give. So whatever I have spoken till it is valid till I prepared the material.
This is a peculiar case, Avinash.
Huh?
This is a peculiar and some different.
See, you don't know technology is there. See, whatever changes they make, whenever they make the changes, you never come to know. And what things happen are going to happen, you never come to know. These things are, because something was some challenge, you told me like that, this was supposed to happen, this has to happen. So sooner they will come and blame to you.
That is why in starting you said we will not discuss the legality part of the things. Anyway,
if these issues or the people who have raised the issues and with the issues get resolved, just please send me the details, inform me accordingly so that I can take it up. Even if they are not getting it resolved, also inform me so that I can see how it can be done. Yes. Because I want that this issue should be resolved. So resolved because I don't want any of these issues to be pending. If these issues are pending, I will take it up to the direct tax committee.
Members are requested to put it on LMP group, also an MCTC group. Khyati and this thing, Jaideep both are there. Both will take care of them because they are on both the groups. So they will take care of that and they will pass it out to CA Avinash Rawani. Right, Kathy and Jaideep?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, all the questions in the chat box are done.
Yes.
Okay, there is one more. There's one more. Once the return becomes invalid due to non-e-verification, condonation request is not
Yes,
available.
very good. Chalo, good. Nice. Some good, yeah. Condonation once become invalid due to non-verification, condonation request is not available. Yes.
Okay.
This thing is also there. Yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, all the questions are done.
Yes, Atul bhai.
Yeah,
Thank
Atul,
you,
Atul, sir.
Thank you, Kathy, for the elaborating all the questions, and Avinash for giving the very efficient and very good satisfied reply to all the members. All the queries.
I think Atul bhai has one more question. Is there, Atul bhai? Atul bhai, unmute Atul bhai.
Unmute karo, हाँ.
I have already given the question earlier. It is related to assessment of 17-18 under section 148 reopen was there. And can we apply for rectification? Demand notice says demand is there, but not taken into consideration advance tax and self-assessment tax. Can we apply for 154 as the order is under 148?
Yeah, rectification you can definitely do it. No, anytime you can do it. Rectification.
When we are clicking on the tab of 154, it is saying that you can only apply if the order is passed under 143(1).
No, Avinash, I'm just interrupting. See, 147 or 148 is order is passed with respect to 147 stroke 143(3) or 144, right? So in that case, you can definitely file 154. You select 143(3) in that case. Right? Sorry, Avinash.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Avinash, for the beautiful, superb evening passed with you all, clarifying and satisfying our mind with all the questions and answers for that, immediate answers. Now I'll request Advocate Jaideep Sonpal to propose the vote of thanks. Jaideep, you have given the idea to LMP and MCTC for keeping such webinar every month. We'll definitely go for that, and we'll think and we'll definitely work for the members of both the groups. Thank you very much, and over to Jaideep Sonpal.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Starting with our LMP President, Sir Satish Bhai. He started by sharing a beautiful vision with facts and figures of CA profession and denoted as a factory of CA, that I think our hostel, right? And coming to our today's speaker, as Bharat Bhai has rightly denoted Avinash Bhai as Sachin Tendulkar. So further, after the match is over, I would declare him as man of the series, a series which is known for changes in income tax return. So every year, whenever we professionals need to check about the updates in ITR, we have been searching for Avinash Bhai's lectures, where it is scheduled and when it is scheduled, and on which platform. So it was a very detailed presentation, and starting from comparative figures of ITR filed and e-verified, till answering the questions about extension of due dates. Today, nobody has asked about extension of due date, but is it possible? I would ask that, because still many glitches are coming, and also escalating issues to CPC grievance. So with these few words of gratitude, I would propose a hearty vote of thanks to Avinash Bhai, and hope for the same continuation you do every year. You are doing the best job, because in ITR filing, I think you are the only faculty.
No, there are many more faculties.
But you are the best by far.
Thank you. I have tried my level best.
Every year we will call in the month of May to Avinash. Now it is fixed now. Avinash Bhai. Atul Bhai, તમે આટલા senior છો, તમારા તરફથી બી એક consent લઈ લો, sir. Thank you, Advocate Atul Bhai. Thank you all for the attending. We crossed today 100, I think last number was 105 maximum, Avinash. Century by Sachin Tendulkar and century by Avinash. Thanks all the members too for attending in a patient manner and the very good question asked by all the members. Thank you and see you for the next month meeting. We'll call very good speaker like Avinash. And good night and good evening to you all. Bye.
Chalo, okay. Yeah, bye.
Thank you, Avinash. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.